Helene Hadsell was known as the contest queen because she won every contest she ever entered. Over 5,000 of them, in fact. And she didn't do this by chance. She tapped into the law of attraction and consciously created every winning that she manifested. Her prizes included trips, furniture, bikes, boats, money, appliances, and even a 4,300 square foot home. Helene Hadsell was a happy homemaker when she discovered Norman Vincent Peale's book, The Power of Positive Thinking. Inside that book, she found the life-changing secret to attracting everything she ever wanted and immediately began practicing the principles. After reading the book, she asked her husband what he would like to have. His reply was, "I'd like to have this outboard motor," as he pointed to an ad in the newspaper. The advertisement was for a Coca-Cola contest, wherein participants were to write in 25 words on why they take Coca-Cola on outings. Here's Helen telling the story in her own words.
Start at the beginning because I read The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. And the thing that intrigued me was he said you can have anything you want, provided you know what it is. And then you can see yourself as having it. And I thought that was profound. And after that night, I was so, all excited. And that's when my husband was reading the paper. And I told him, I said, we can have anything we want, provided we know what it is. And he said, well, I'd like to have this outboard motor. Contesting means you have to complete 25 words or less, or 50 words or less. And here's where a creative imagination comes in. I sat in the chair. I pretended I was my husband because he liked to fish by himself. I didn't know any better, and I just had this confidence that they're just going to let me win. A week later, naturally, they called and he won. And from that day on, I kept thinking, okay, what else do I want?
Helen lectured around the world, sharing the secrets of her success. She summarizes her winnings in a simple 4-step process that she called SPEC. Here's Helen explaining what SPEC is.
If you want to be a winner, you better use my motto, which is SPEC. S-P-E-C. It's selected, projected, expected, and then collected.
Let's examine this model more deeply to understand the power it holds and how a winner thinks. Select it. The first step in this process is fairly obvious. You must select what you want. Know exactly what you want down to the finest detail. Decide all of the attributes of your selection, as if you are choosing a meal off of a menu and making any necessary alterations to suit your preferences. If need be, you can start with things that you believe to be possible and/or things that seem reasonable to your mind. This will tie into the expected portion of this model that I'll discuss in a few moments. And the reason it's a good idea to begin this way is that you will be able to easily prove to yourself that you can manifest intentionally by creating some pretty fast and easy wins in your life. The more you do this, the more you begin to believe in your power and ability to do it over and over again. And with that belief in place, the so-called bigger things come into manifestation much easier and much faster. Once you know what you want, you move on to the second step in this process, and that is to project it. We do this through our imagination and visualization. Here's Helen once again speaking on this.
Everything that is important to us is we first must have a desire. And when we have this desire, and then when we project, and then things start happening. Visualization is quite important.
After intently selecting what is desired, we immerse ourselves into the feeling of having it until there's no doubt that it's already manifested. This is not a projection of your manifested desire in the future. This is a visualized projection of the desire already being manifested in the now. Listen again closely to how Helen described this in the earlier audio, how she knew that it was already hers.
I didn't know any better, and I just had this confidence that they're just going to let me win. A week later, naturally, they called and he won.
Helen would use visualization to win her contests. She didn't think about competition or how things would come to be. She simply knew it was already hers. This somewhat combines the projected and expected portions of this formula. In other words, we project what we expect. That's how we manifest. It's only that we must learn to expect what we desire as if it is already our reality. And any of us has the ability to do this. So let's dive deeper into the expected portion of the process. Listen to Helen briefly explaining this.
People have this ability, and they don't recognize it. And some of them are pity party all the time. You're working with energy, and that's the main thing.
Going back to the ordering a meal off of a menu metaphor, if you ordered a meal at a restaurant, you would expect that your meal will arrive soon for you. It's already yours, and it's going to show up. It's in the process of being prepared. And this is the same type of expectation that we bring to our manifestations. We place the order by selecting it and projecting it, and then we expect for it to arrive. In Norman Vincent Peale's book that Helen read, The Power of Positive Thinking, he states, "Things become better when you expect the best instead of the worst. For the reason that being freed from self-doubt, you can put your whole self into your endeavor. And nothing can stand in the way of the man who focuses his entire self on a problem." He goes on to state, "When the entire concentration of all your force, physical, emotional, and spiritual, is brought to bear, the consolidation of these powers properly employed is quite irresistible. Expecting the best means that you put your whole heart, i.e., the central essence of your personality, into what you want to accomplish. People are defeated in life not because of lack of ability, but for lack of wholeheartedness. They do not wholeheartedly expect to succeed. Their heart isn't in it, which is to say they themselves are not fully given. Results do not yield themselves to the person who refuses to give himself to the desired results." You could also call this faith if expectation doesn't seem to fit your belief systems. I often find that many of my clients rely on faith that things will work out, and this eases the idea of having to expect something to happen. Listen to Helen talking about how thoughts become manifest.
Watch your thoughts. They become words. Watch your words. They become actions. Watch your actions. They become habits. Watch your habits. They become character. And then watch your character, for it becomes your destiny.
And the final step in this SPEC method, the one that everyone desires to get to, is collect it. This step is also self-explanatory. Helen is quoted as saying, "With a positive thinking outlook, there is no failure, only a delay in results." No matter the so-called time frame involved, you still keep expecting and believing that what you have projected is already yours, and it must be so, that what you have ordered is already on the way. This is the winning SPEC formula that Helene Hadsell used to create over 5,000 contest wins. With all of her modesty, she became an amazing illustration of how powerful human thoughts and intentions are. She was a natural when it came to manifesting what she desired to create in this physical world. She believed that everything would just unfold organically for her once she chose it and delighted in it, and it always did. Helen experienced the magic of manifestation over and over again in her life, and lovingly shared her wondrous example with the world.
SPEC, and if you remember that slogan, selected, projected, expected, collected. And that's the secret, if there's a secret. It's a powerful, powerful method. Take my word for it, because it worked for me, and I'm not anybody special, but that's the way I won everything I ever wanted.